back to my channel. It has been a couple of weeks since I posted an update. I was traveling to the very Arctic Midwest. I got back very, very late on Sunday and well, I guess technically Monday because it's like 1:30 in the morning. And that just sort of drained me for the rest of the week, so I didn't really feel like recording and editing a video. I should throw an apology up real fast. So my smoke alarm is chirping and it's wired in like hardwired into the electric of the house, and so it's making that battery, like I need a new battery noise, as you just heard, but it's hardwired, so I don't know what it wants. I've never had hardwired smoke detectors before. We went and like hit the button and it set all of them off in the house, and it is still chirping. So that's something we need to fix. So if you hear that, sorry, it's probably going to be a bit annoying. I'm going to do my best to edit it out, but if it happens while I'm talking, I'm not sure that there's much I can do. So much has happened since we last talked. We're practically done. Besides the wig, pretty much everything is done. The corset I'm calling done. You could probably see here the wings and the back of the corset. I have the modesty panel sewn together. It just needs ironed. And I'm trying something new. I'm doing a removable modesty panel. My weight's been fluctuating quite a bit, so I didn't want to like be stuck with one size modesty panel, so I created kind of like a larger one, and I think we're just gonna slide it in and see how that goes. The skirt, which is piled behind me, is like mostly done. I'm adding some extra gems to the gold trim. I had finished an entire pack of 1,500 gems and I'm on the second, and I think that will cover the rest of it. So we're talking around 3,000 gems just on the skirt alone. The collar is finished. The cape is finished. The little capelets are finished that can be dazzled. I have hand stitched them tentatively onto the collar. I want to try it on and make sure that that fits right. My mannequin's a little wonky, and she's a little bent. So I am going to try it on with the corset and the wings to make sure it falls where I want before I call that done. I've decided I don't like the way that it looks where the cape goes under the collar. So I made a bunch of little gold satin, well, not a bunch, I made 4 gold satin roses that I'm going to glue right on top. It just kind of hides that seam a little, and it just like flows a bit better in my opinion. I don't know, something about just like coming out from the collar unadorned didn't seem to look right to me. The brooch is done. The hair wing things done. Those I actually took some leftover goose feathers. I did not feel like making foam feathers again. So I used the same feathers that I used on the collar, and I spray painted them white first to bring up their brightness because they weren't like super bright white. And then I used some gold spray paint and just like tipped the edges. And then I actually, because I can't help myself, gold leafed the edges, which I think looks really, really nice. Made some more satin roses, some warbler leaves, and glued them onto hair combs. The hair combs are like this, and they're only glued like right here. So the other part of the hair comb is bare, but I thought that was fine because it'll slide in and it'll come off like that. And then the other part of the hair comb won't really be noticeable. I got the what I call the fins sewed onto the sleeves. They're like just little lace spirals that match the skirt. I did on the skirt go through and reburn some of the edges of the colored fabric. I think I completely missed burning the edges of the green and orange and blue satin. So those were fraying quite a bit. The chiffon or viola or whatever it's called, that also was fraying quite a bit, so I went and fixed it. And I've just decided to be okay with anything that frays from here on out because it gives a nice sort of texture, and it's supposed to be a tatter skirt, so it's supposed to be undone. So we have 3 different finishes to the edges of the spirals in the skirt. Some are fraying, like the lace gets a little worn on the edges. Some are burned and some are glued, and so that All that sort of just adds to that sort of fairy feel. So I think I'm okay with it. I think I'm happy with it. I'm going to call it good. The wings are done. I redid the back brace. I kind of quickly taped it together last time, put some warbler reinforcements and tried that out. It was a bit bulky, it fit fine, but then I realized I had one wing, the lower left was up a little too high. So I just undid all of that, retaped everything. And then I added some warbler supports between some of the wires because the bins were just a little off. So I used the warbler, and then I added a strip of warbler across the back of the brace because the weight of the wings, they were taking that brace and doing this, and then it was sitting on the top of the corset and pulling it down. So I just added a strip of warble in between so it hold this in its shape. And then I still was not happy with where the wires went into the corset. Similar to how I was feeling about the cape attaching to the collar, it just didn't seem quite finished. So I made 8 white satin roses and put 4 on each side, and I add some pearls and gems to sort of match what was going on in the hair pieces. I think that turned out really nice. I think it looks finished. You won't even really see the roses all that much because the little capelet things go over it, but it's just, I don't know, it looks better. So if you lift up the cape and look at it, it looks finished. I do still need to add some gem dangles. I've been going back and forth as to whether or not I wanted to add these gem dangles on it. They hang off of the edge of some of the wing parts and they just go like that. So after some back and forth, I decided I'm going to do it. And if I wind up hating it, I'll just remove them and then cover the little hole I make with a needle with some gems. I had to order some more materials so that I could do the necklace and the tiara. So I did the necklace and the tiara. I did wind up making the necklace out of some silver metal and some clear gems and this little resin pendant I had made. Not quite accurate to the artwork, but I thought the resin has like gold leaf floating in it, so I thought that would just bring more gold leaf into the design. So I have that. I do want to put a 3D printed star on top of it. I just have to finish those 3D prints. Like they're printed, I just need to like polish them and paint them. But I decided I don't think that I necessarily like the way the metal looks because in the artwork, it's like these light blue lines, which I have interpreted to mean clear this whole time. So I'm making a second necklace out of fishing line and clear beads. And I have the base of it done. I just need to add some there's a little like loop-de-loop and then the pendant in the middle. And then I'm going to compare the two and decide which one I like better. Same thing for the tiara. It's that light blue stuff that looks clear. I was going to make it out of metal wire and I just didn't like the way that it looked. So I'm doing fishing line and then a bunch of beads across. So that part is done. And then I just need to finish the 3D printed star that's going to hang off of it. Normally when I have these tiaras, they just slide under my wig and the wig holds it in place. But because of how I'm doing this wig, there won't be any pressure there, I think. So I do think I need to get a couple barrettes to tie the fishing line to and like actually barrette them into my hair. So for this weekend, what I need to finish are the 3D printed stars. Just get those polished and painted. It is really cold here today and I have to go outside to do that, so I'm not sure I'm going to do it today, so it might be a tomorrow thing. And then I have dedicated this weekend to the wig. So I don't remember if I explained this before, but I'm trying to create a warbler base that supports the PVC pipe structure of the pigtails, and the wig will essentially go on top of that. I don't want to use the little elastic band. If you've never worn a wig, like a warble wig before, there's an elastic band that kind of goes across to the back and you hook it together and that pressure kind of keeps it in place. So, as I found out recently, pin it in place. Otherwise it will still fall. But that elastic band causes me to have migraines. So I'm trying to make it a little different this time and not use that. And I've only seen a couple tutorials of people who make hardtop wigs. They usually have like this metal, like 1-inch wide metal strip that goes across the hairline and then it like crisscrosses on top. But I can't figure out what metal that is. And I went to Lowe's and I still just couldn't figure out what to use. So I'm like, I have Warbler at home. Let's see if Warbler will work. Warbler is flexible. It might be more comfortable than metal, so we'll see. So I have that warbler structure created, and I have the PVC pipe put into it, and it's made so that I can screw the PVC off if I need to. And weirdly enough, it fit just right over the wig. I didn't have to cut the wig at all, so it just goes in between the wefts. I didn't expect the style to look quite the way it was, so it's a little longer in front. I bought like a really short wig. It's longer in the front for bangs, and then the back has just like rows of 1-inch long wefts, and it just does not look good. So I need to put this into a pigtail wig. So what I'm going to do is, I have some wefts. I bought an Amazon wig because my Arta wig was delayed, and my Arta order was delayed. So I went ahead on Amazon and bought a different wig that I'm going to cut apart. It should be fine because white is white, so as long as the fibers aren't super shiny, I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to create my own wefts using fabric glue, and I'm going to glue them up the back of the wig in the direction I want the hair to go and sort of create my own hairline. I'm going to follow a little bit of what I saw Sarah Spaceman do on her most recent Hatsune Miku? I don't know, her holiday Matsuri build. I'm using the bangs already exist to make the bangs and to do the top part of the ponytail. So that's already styled, the top part going back. But I was just waiting until I got these wefts before I do anything else. So this weekend we'll be making wefts, gluing them to the hairline, and fingers crossed it all works out. I did buy some clip-on pigtails from Arta that I'm going to cut apart for the pigtails themselves. They have a beautiful wave in them, which is why I chose that, because I just didn't feel like styling in the wave. I do, however, need to make what I'm calling pigtail socks, which is like a white netting that needs to go over the pigtails that will keep the pigtails from tangling and gripping onto everything that's going on under that corset. So I do need to figure out how to do that and still have it look good with these waves. And probably the most interesting part are going to be those hearts on her thing. So it's kind of hard to tell from the artwork. It kind of looks like 2 buns on each side, but the character in the anime and manga, well, I haven't seen the movie, but the character in the manga, her buns are hearts. So I'm making hearts. And what I did for my Sailor Cosmos wig originally was I took some styrofoam, pre-made styrofoam hearts, and like spliced them together and wrapped wefts of hair around it. And that made my heart thing, and I had originally carved out a hole in it so it slid onto the stub of the pigtail. So I'm doing something a little different this time. So I designed a 3D printed heart with a hole in it that will slide onto the PVC pipe. And last time whenever I glued when I made the 3D printed Odango shields, they didn't have a curve in them, so they didn't fit flat onto the hair. So I had to like wrap hair around it to fill in the gap, and not a big fan of how that looks. So to solve for that problem, in my heart design, I added a little like stand in the middle of it, and then added the base that I'm going to use for the Odango shield on top of that, so that I can just weave the hair underneath the Odango shield and bring it up, but it's built into the heart structure. I'll put up a little picture or video here so that you can see what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to explain. They're not cleaned up yet, so like I need to get the support structures off, but that's what I'm doing. My thought is by doing the 3D print, I can be more precise. I can make sure that they are symmetrical, and maybe I can use less hair to cover it up, so it's the white 3D print. So I'm thinking one thin layer of hair might be enough to cover that up. And then I'll build the Odango, and then I have a 3D print design ready to go for the dome that comes off of the Odango shield. I'm going to print that in clear filament, and I think I'm just going to let that be. I don't think I'm going to paint it because I like the way that the clear looks. It looks almost frosted when it's printed. And then I will glue that onto the PVC pipe, and then should everything go well, I should be able to screw off the hair bun and slide off the pigtail for travel and storage purposes, or if I just decide I want to switch out to a different hair bun. So I'm kind of excited to try that. I've not seen anyone else yet use 3D printing to help build up a structure of a wig, so I'm kind of excited to give it a shot. It is a little heavier than using the styrofoam, which is unfortunate, but I think it'll be good. I should also mention, so the back part where I'm building up the hairline, that is going to be hard. That whole part's going to be glued. I'm going to try to leave the front top part soft so that I can slide pins into the wig, into my own hair to keep it from sliding. So the pins and then the wig glue on the front is going to be what holds the wig in place. So I'm really, really hoping that's enough. So this is something I've not done before. We are 2 weeks out from competition, so hopefully I can pull it off. But if I can't, I do have my other Sailor Cosmos wig that I can take apart and add the new pigtails and whatnot onto that. So we are in a pretty good place, I think. So hopefully by Monday, I will have my wig, or at least the base. So yeah, that's what we're working on. Some fine-tuning details and making my own kind of custom wig. So yeah, really, really busy 2 weeks, and I think it's going to be kind of a busy next couple of weeks. I do need to finish my build book. It's mostly there. It's like 75% done, but I haven't added the final things that I finished. So I do need to do that as well and get it printed and bound and whatnot and have that ready to go. I got my prejudging time today, which is the best prejudging time I've ever had. Also up to 5 minutes long, which is the longest prejudging I've ever had, so I'm very excited about that. Yeah, so that is all I have for you today. I will see you in my next video. Bye!